Got it.
Okay, so hi, welcome to our lovely MIECAT cohort. We're recording so that people who couldn't make it here today can view afterwards. So I'm Carla. I'm here representing PACFA's College of Creative and Experiential Therapies, and I'm joining from beautiful Boon Wurrung country down in the southeast of our continent. And I always pay my respects to the beautiful Boon Wurrung people, their ancestors and elders, and I extend that respect to all of the first people of the places that you're joining from today. So welcome. We just organised to have a Q&A, so I reckon we'll just do it that way. Who wants to know something?
Well, I would like to know, I guess just like assume we know nothing in terms of joining. We are, I think the three of us might be in the same situation where we have completed the coursework for our masters and are in the process. We don't have a statement of results yet, but I'm keen to be registered. Oh, there's someone else coming. I'm keen to be registered with PACFA as soon as possible, and I just want somebody to talk me through the process. Hi, Kat.
Hi, sorry I'm late.
Yeah. Welcome. We just started. Yeah, talk you through the process of joining.
Yeah, and keeping in mind that there is a lag time in terms of us getting our statements of results, but our coursework has been completed. Is there anything we can set in motion now so to avoid delays later down the track?
Okay, so number one, I'm assuming that you'd all love to be members of CCET, which is the College of Creative and Experiential Therapies. So your very first step is, of course, to become not just a member with PACFA. So you can already be student members for free, and I hope you are. Yeah. If you're not, you can do that immediately. Okay. Become a student member, which automatically gives you access to all of PACFA's ongoing professional development and the newsletter, and just to start to be part of the community. All right. So take up that offer. That's my number one tip. All right. Do you need me to show you links to all of these things that I'm going to be talking about? Or I think the easiest way to find information, this is a number two tip, is to actually Google what you're looking for rather than try and find it through the PACFA website. So if you Google PACFA student membership, then you should be able to find that pretty easily. Yeah. And then becoming a registrant with PACFA starts with applying to be a certified practicing counsellor. It's a CPC, that's your graduate level. Okay. And that's what everyone who joins PACFA as soon as they're qualified to practice, that's your entry level. All right. But you are recognised as a full member. It's not a tier. Okay. You're a full member. That means you have voting rights with PACFA, and you're recognised as certified practicing. And once you've been a certified practicing registrant, which also means that you will be listed on RCAP, which is the Australian Register of Counsellors and Psychotherapists. Okay, so that's what being a registrant means. You're registered to practice. Yeah, it means you're eligible for insurance, and PACFA also provides really good, cost-effective professional indemnity insurance that you can have access to when you're a registrant. Okay, so your question is about how to become a registrant. Yep. And I think that part of your question is, how do we become registrants before we've attended graduation and received our certificate of attainment?
If that's possible.
I would think that it is, but you would have to provide some kind of documentation, evidence that you've, and it would need to say that you've completed the requirements for the fulfillment of your Master of Therapeutic Arts Practice. Yeah.
Do you think a letter from a supervisor or a student from Student Services could help start that process?
I would think that would have to come from MIECAT.
Yeah, no, well, from a supervisor at MIECAT.
I'm not really sure. It may have to be signed off by, you know, the dean or the head of school or whatever the top person is. All right.
Yep.
Or it might be fine to have a letter from administration.
Yep.
It would have to be, you know, a formal MIECAT letter. Sometimes you can get a transcript of your results before you get your formal certificate. So that would be a really, you know, handy thing. That would be certainly adequate. Transcript.
That's coming in January. So I guess looking at that, we could start that now. We could probably get a letter now. But I think the transcription's coming in January. So we could sort of start collecting the documentation.
Yeah. Yeah. Your transcript of results would be enough.
Okay.
It's got your name on it and it's a formal document. And the important thing about the transcript of results is that it lists all of the subjects that you've done. So you'll need that anyway. So another thing that I try and explain, which is a reasonably common misunderstanding, is when people look at the website and it says how to become a PACFA member. Maybe I'll get this page up because it might just be helpful for you to see it at the same time. PACFA membership requirements. That's not the one I want. Eligibility. Okay, the PACFA eligibility page. So I'll just share this. Okay, so people see this and they read, check whether the course you've studied is on our list of accredited courses. If your course is listed, please follow the application checklist and apply now. And so people check this and they go, oh, our course isn't on there. And they panic and think they can't be a member. But if you just read down a little bit further, you'll see this. If the course you've studied is not accredited with PACFA, you must have studied a course that meets the following criteria. Must be at an AQF level 7, bachelor degree or above. So you've all got master's degrees, so you're fine. Must study over 2 or more years. And within the course, there must be a minimum of 400 hours of instruction in counselling, psychotherapy specific subjects, and it lays that out. So then what you do is you look at your course and you go, oh yeah, okay, our course has all of that. So you actually are eligible. But when you're filling out the application form, it is streamlined if the course is accredited. So of course we all hope that MIECAT will get their courses accredited, but that does take a little bit of work on behalf of the institution. So in the meanwhile, it's kind of on each individual to show that your qualification, the coursework within your qualification meets the PACFA criteria. And how I advise you to do that is as though you're writing a job application and you're addressing key selection criteria. So each of that eligibility criteria, you address it and you show them the people who are assessing your application, show them in your course document. So a really good way to show it is to attach a course document or your transcript and both your transcript of results. Okay, and that way you can show exactly where you have done all of the things that are required in your training. Does that make sense?
Yes. So I imagine, is that a form or like we just write it out? We just pull it out and just write it?
I think that it's an online form.
Okay.
And you attach documents. You upload copies of your documents to support it. So I'll share my screen again and see if you can see it. So this is the apply now. So I'm pressing that button. Apply for certified practicing membership. See this here?
Yep.
You'll be applying for that. And then you'll read this. It's got, again, the eligibility criteria, and it's got a list of the documents.
Yes.
They have to be certified. That means that you need to take the original plus a photocopy to the Justice of the Peace signed, which, yeah, it's a bit funny because, I mean, you're uploading a digital version anyway, so you could upload a digital version of the original. Right. Anyway, it's got a little asterisk next to it, so they'll explain exactly what they mean by that. So the transcript, the certificate, you haven't got your insurance yet. You need to have a national police check, a working with children's check, proof of identity documents, and this is the important part, evidence that your course meets the PACFA training standards. Okay. And it tells you that, so your student guidebooks, your unit outlines, or a letter from the institution. So you could, if there was a little cohort of you, you could ask PACFA to prepare a letter showing how the Master of Therapeutic Arts Practice meets the PACFA training standards.
Yeah? Saying we could ask perhaps MIECAT to do that, to support us. Yep.
It would make sense for them to do that. In the meanwhile, until they actually get the course accredited, then that would be a really supportive thing for them to do for you. Yeah.
Yep.
And the PACFA training standards, is there a link to that on here? So you have to do another search to find the PACFA training standards. But I had to do this, okay, and I did my master's degree over 20 years ago, and I did it at RMIT, and nothing was digitized. And, you know, I had to go through the process of calling them, writing to them, getting a transcript, digging out some course outlines, you know, and things like that. I'm sure it will be a lot easier for you. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm happy to contact student services and just tell them that there is a cohort of people wanting to apply for PACFA. Can they prepare a document to support that?
Yeah. I think I've got an example of somebody who did this process. They graduated from Melbourne Uni, masters, and they sort of created a little matrix, like a table, and they had each of the training standards, and then they just referenced the course document or the course code where that corresponded to that, and they just laid it out quite neatly. So, yeah, an attachment with the table and then the course document, and that's how they went about it.
You know, when we did Eva, the Camino Trail in our last unit, They took us on a trail of all our units.
Yes.
I said, oh, I really need a transcript of that, because I was trying to write every little word down about how each of the units linked in, and what skills were shown in each unit and things. And I got a link. They sent me a document that supported each of the units. So that ultimately could be an example of that.
Would you be happy to share that,
Cut
Megan?
and paste. Yeah. So I got that from my supervisor, but they must all have it because that's how they created the trail. So that might be a benefit.
I mean, we've all done the same units, so it would make sense for MIECAT, if they have that documentation, to have a standard document that could be supplied to PACFA that we can use.
Yeah, it would be really helpful if they are able to do that, but we also know how busy they are. So even if you got yourselves together and organized, you know, and just allocated a few training standards to each person, and you could each take a few on and then combine your efforts. And I forgot what I was going to say.
Does anyone else have any questions? Because I have another one to ask, but I don't want to hog. No, you're good. I would love to understand how the College of Experiential Arts, if I don't have the title right, fits within PACFA, and whether we need to apply to be part of the college or whether we apply to be part of PACFA. Like, how do those two fit together?
Sure. So yeah, the thing that I was going to mention has come back to me now. The wonderful thing about having the College of Creative and Experiential Therapies.
Thank you. Yeah.
And we call it CCET. Yeah, CCET. CCET. That the establishment of that college really formally recognises that creative arts and experiential therapies do fall under the banner of counselling and psychotherapy. So where in the training standards that you might find that some of the language sounds more oriented towards counselling, and that, you know, maybe what you might have to find yourselves doing is a little bit of translation, you know, from the MIECAT terminology, showing how it meets theirs. So where they say things like counselling skills, you might say, companioning.
Yes.
So so a little bit of that kind of thing is really helpful to help them understand. But yeah, because we've got the college, then it really bridges that gap. It's like it's a given that creative arts therapists are psychotherapists. Yeah. So how CCET fits within PACFA? There's a very cool graphic, if I can. If I had been more organised.
Don't stress it.
Let's see. What is PACFA? I found it. So this is fun. They've made these infographics to show the organisation. This is like, what is? It's a PDF. Is that showing up for you?
Yeah.
So it's a peak registering body, right? For the diverse range of people who identify as psychotherapists and counsellors. And so there's the registration part, accreditation, that's when they accredit courses, professional development, peer networks based on your geography, publications, stakeholder relationships. So there's all sorts of organisations excuse me, that PACFA have partnerships with. And then these professional identification colleges. So that's for you know, groups of members who have a specialization, right? Their own professional identity. So there's a College of Supervision of Psychotherapy, of Indigenous healing practices, relationship counsellors. I can't say I actually know what that one is up there, unfortunately. I'm sorry, counselling. And then there's us, the College of Creative and Experiential Therapies. So that college is there so that under the umbrella of PACFA, we have our own professional identity to that broad, you know, the diversity of practices that are in there. So I'll see if I can go. Then we've got the WHO. And that's WHO. So that's all the people, right? The other one was the organizational structure. And so, yeah, there's the members, and there's different kinds of members, member associations. So they're other professional bodies that become member associations. There's the branches, and they're organized by state. There's interest groups. Yeah, there's the board. There's some staff in the administration. And then there's the stakeholders, all of the people who have an interest in PACFA as a regulatory body. And then again, there's the colleges. So we're in here, CCET. Yeah, so we're a bunch of people. And everyone in here, apart from the paid staff, they're all volunteers. So just like I'm the convener of the College of Creative and Experiential Therapists, and there's a group of us, there's 8, and who are in the leadership group. I'll show you us, and we're all volunteers. All right, so there's me, there's Tara Herodin, who's an art therapist, a Wiradjuri woman, who practices in Brisbane, and Kevin Franklin, he's a psychodramatist from WA, Lauren, who's an art therapist and counsellor in New South Wales, Sandy Buchanan, another MIECAT graduate actually in Victoria, Lisa Mosley, who's an arts therapist and counsellor in Victoria as well, Janine Cameron, who's sensory motor psychotherapist in WA, and Diana Sands, she's also from New South Wales. Yeah, so that's the leadership group, yeah, of CCET. Did I answer your question?
Well, I guess maybe my question, and I think you answered it. So what I understand is when we become members, that isn't part of the process. Members, it goes under the full PACFA umbrella, and then that college, we engage with that once we're members, and is can get involved. Or
so once you're a member of PACFA, that's your first hurdle.
Yeah.
Then what we're currently doing is getting organized to open up for membership. Right. So
that's a separate membership to PACFA.
Yeah, so here we go. I've got another thing to share for you. This just came out today, so this is exciting.
Yep.
College of Creative and Experiential Therapies membership is set to launch this December.
Oh, okay. So that's great to know about the 12th of December.
Yes.
Is that online?
It'll be online. It's for PACFA members. So
okay, so not for MIECAT people.
It's not
yet. If we're student members?
Sorry?
We're student members, can we come?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you can. So do that for sure. Right. Yeah. So we're going to, in this launch event, which will be a celebration, but it's also going to be informative, and we're going to a walkthrough of the capabilities matrix, highlighting examples of how to provide evidence for the capabilities. So, and also look at the CCET qualifications and training weighting table, helping applicants understand how to present the required 100 points. So this is really geared to help our CCET's potential members feel confident to apply for CCET membership. And this is our membership statement and criteria that we have developed through a process of collaborative peer work with about 40 creative and experiential therapists who are members of PACFA. And this sort of clearly defines what the college is, who the members are, what are creative processes and experiential ways of working, what are our values, our knowing and knowledge, our attitudes, and then we have our capabilities, the skills and abilities that our members hold. And this is what makes us, I guess, specialists in the creative and experiential therapies. So our capabilities build on PACFA's and are specific to the practice of creative and experiential therapies. Yeah. So, and then we talk about the qualifications, training, professional development, and supervised practice. And there's the membership criteria. So you need to demonstrate how you've developed the capabilities, and then have 100 points of relevant qualifications, supervised practice, and/or training. Right. So there's an online form that'll be presented in the meeting, and again, you get to fill in the form and show where you've developed these capabilities. Then there's this weighting table. So you're in this section here. Yeah. Oh, hang on. No, you are masters. Yeah, AQF 9, a master's degree specializing in creative or experiential therapy. That gives you 70 points. And then your practice hours. So you will have done your placement. Yeah, and you get 10 points for each 100 hours. Do you know how many hours you did?
Wasn't it 175 per term? But did I get that right? Yeah, 175. So 350 for the year. Was that, is my maths?
Yeah. So there's 35 points. So you've already got your 100 through there and there, but then you get a point for your hours of supervision. So you may find that when you add it all up, that you've got more like 120 or 130 points. So getting those points won't be difficult for you. Okay?
Yeah.
So that's what you need to do to become a CCET member. And part of the reason that we've made it so rigorous, but we've also made it flexible, and we've also made it really reflective of the actual real skills that we have, that we use in our work. Part of the reason for that is because of PACFA's role that it takes really seriously in being a regulatory and advocacy body, and the relationships that PACFA's got and developing with on national and state levels with the government, and in helping to direct and shape policy. So especially the new framework for the counselling and psychotherapy workforce. So under that umbrella of, at a national governance level, then CCET will be representing those PACFA registrants who are specialists in creative and experiential therapies. Yeah. Great.
No, that's really helpful. Thank you. And so student membership, and I suppose we can't apply for the college until we're PACFA members.
You can't apply for the college until you're PACFA members.
Yep.
So the first step is to apply for PACFA membership.
Yep.
Yeah, and then once you have that, and once CCET is open for membership in December, then it shouldn't be too hard for you, okay, to show how you meet the CCET criteria, because yeah, they're all things that you do. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Does anyone else have any questions?
No, I don't have any more. Thanks, Eva. Or yeah, none at all, in fact. Because you've covered it all. Thank you.
No questions, but just a deep gratitude for what you're doing there, Carla. You know, the volunteer hours and all that admin behind the scenes. Like, it's, yeah, such a resource for us all, and I'm deeply grateful for all that work.
It's all right. Yeah, thanks. I appreciate you saying that. You're welcome.
Thank
I've got something else I will show you though while you're here, because this just came out today. So the other thing is, well, why do you want to be a CCET member? I mean, to me, that seems like a pretty important question. So we already have had such an amazing, strong show of interest amongst the PACFA community. There's a couple of hundred people who are really interested in to be involved. And this is a little article that just came out today, which summarizes the findings. You were there, Megan, the findings of our event, which it was this amazing, wonderful hybrid event where people gathered in different locations around Australia and also joined online. So individuals and small groups all came together online, and there was over 100 people there. And we did an inquiry together about what do we want from our continuing professional development. So part of our job, CCET's job, moving into next year after we open, will be to provide a series of ongoing professional development workshops and networking events, as well as do the advocacy. And so we're really excited about, you know, opening up for membership and becoming more of a connected community and a supported connected community where we thrive and on peer-to-peer learning and, you know, and through our shared values and all that sort of thing. So I'll just show you, this is what we did find that people want. So this is who we are becoming, right? This is what's important to people: community and connection, multimodal experiencing, learning with energy and passion.
Ah, that's my picture.
Ah.
Energy, fun.
Yeah. And so, yeah, what came out really strongly was that it's important to us to, through community and connection, to establish and be a place where people can have a sense of belonging. And well, we learned that we thrive by doing things together, using a broad range of modalities and materials to engage in hands-on experiential action learning, and learning with energy and passion. To, you know, people are so inspired to grow and learn together. And so that's sort of our mission when we're planning things. And look who's there.
My studio. It's out there.
Yeah, that's our mission, is to belong, create, and grow together.
Awesome.
Yeah. It's amazing. So good. Feels like this big, beautiful club of like-minded souls that just get the language and, you know, fire off each other, and just, yeah, it's beautiful. Thank you.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for your time, Carla, and make this available to anyone else who wants to know, or else we can answer questions too.
Yeah. All right. So we'll say goodbye. I'll stop the recording, but I'll stick around for a moment. Thanks, everyone.